So Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, which means he is pretty powerful. But what if he was even stronger? What if he had the Venom symbiote? Well, my name is AJ, here at the Hero Informer, and let's find out. Now, we are actually picking up in the middle of the story, and if you want full context, go ahead and watch the previous part where we can get caught up. I'll leave a link in the comments and in the top right corner. But we pick up and find Doctor Strange in the middle of Chinatown, New York, in a random bar. And why is he here, you may ask? Well, he's looking at a certain object, a transport container containing an alien, and seeing how this is a what-if universe, this is the first time the Venom symbiote has been on Earth, or any symbiote for that matter. So it's not like Doctor Strange already has knowledge on the symbiote, because so far, it has even bonded to other heroes, such as She-Hulk and Wolverine, as they went on their own adventures causing a ruckus. And Doctor Strange is here to investigate, finding out that whatever this is, its origins can clearly not be found on this planet. So after using a certain spell that affects the symbiote, it de-transforms from its hiding state and fully tries to attack the sorcerer, in which a little fight breaks out. And you might think to yourself, okay, well, how can a base symbiote, not even bonded to anyone, even contend with the Sorcerer Supreme? Well, that's the thing, it can't. But Doctor Strange underestimated it, with him even saying, "I continue to underestimate you, alien," but that ends now. As he then casts another spell, getting ready to trap the alien, but just as he summons it, the Venom symbiote dodges and disappears, confusing even Strange himself, saying dodging my containment spell is no small feat, with the symbiote not only dodging the spell, but dodging Strange's detection altogether. He even comments on this saying, "It's impressive," as unbeknown to him, the symbiote crept up behind him, bonding itself to Strange's clothes, which of course this becomes really detrimental later. But moving over to the Sanctum Sanctorum, we arrive there and see Wong, Doctor Strange's partner, as he then arrives as well, kind of down that he wasn't able to capture the symbiote, with Wong even saying, "It's pretty clever, alright, it must be if it got past you." But Doctor Strange disagrees, saying, "I'm not really convinced. I believe it's just a highly adaptive creature, with extraordinary camouflage capabilities. Furthermore, I've detected no magical energy or origin to the creature, and the alien I have encountered is only really a piece of the entire thing," with Wong even making a hypothesis that not only is it spreading, but it's taking control of others. Which, if the last two issues are anything to go off of, with it bonding to She-Hulk and Wolverine, then yeah, Wong wouldn't be too far off. But anyways, moving over, we then see Wong leave, as tonight he had a TV show to watch, The Bachelors, meaning even ultra-powerful sorcerers still need time and their nights off. And so with Steven putting his cape up, he simply tells Wong to enjoy, as he then leaves off further into the Sanctum Sanctorum. And as he walks up a flight of stairs, he then thinks back to the alien, the symbiote, saying, what if Wong is right? What if the little alien did escape? It's highly improbable, but not impossible. Which if it did escape Strange, it means it is a bigger threat than even he thinks it is. And as he continues to walk, something catches his attention. Well, not something, someone. As he walks by a room and this mysterious person speaks out to him, saying, "Lovely place you have here. Hope you don't mind me popping in." And it seems to be a woman, with Strange going up to confront her saying, "Well, I don't mind welcoming the occasional wayward traveler, but you've somehow managed to breach into an off-limits area without detection," simultaneously impressing Strange, but also offending him. Because how is he supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme, a protector of Earth in its dimension, if he can't even protect his front doors? And because of this, Strange then starts to get serious, saying, "What brings you to my door, Amora?" And if you don't know who Amora is, she is the enchantress, an Asgardian sorceress, commonly with Loki and Thor. And as she reveals why she is even here, she says, "You know how it is, Steven. An enchantress sees one galaxy and then she sees them all." Basically implying that throughout her travels, as a being that possesses powerful magic, she has gotten bored with the universe. So she decided to pay a visit to Earth. And upon coming here, this place, the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is filled by not only powerful magical artifacts, but beings of incredible power such as Strange, Wong, and other sorcerers, it practically drew her here. And she was even surprised to see who inhabits it, none other than the Sorcerer Supreme. Meaning even up in Asgard, the Sorcerer Supreme is well known and revered. But with Strange now getting tired of her presence, he then offers her a tour, saying, "It's the least I can do before seeing you off," fully intending to get rid of her as soon as possible. But just then something snaps and Enchantress starts working at a different angle, saying, "You must get real lonely in this old big house. I know I would, and surely my presence is providing some much needed warmth." As she gets dangerously close to Strange, and as Doctor Strange starts to protest, suddenly it's like Strange is under her spell, clearly not in the right state of mind. Even with him trying to break free, it seems he is caught off guard by Enchantress's, well, enchant. And just as they get close enough, almost about to kiss, Enchantress pulls out a blade trying to kill Strange. And she would have been successful if at the last second, Strange's symbiote controlled cloak didn't pull him back. As you see, all while this was going on, the symbiote manifests itself, which bonded itself to Strange's cloak, trying to protect Strange as it sees him as its next host. And even with the Enchantress acknowledging this, saying that pesky cloak of yours has clearly seen better days. And you might be thinking, okay, well, what is even going on? Why is the Enchantress trying to attack and even kill Strange? Well, in her own words, she says that she thinks her lackluster vacation to Earth needs a trophy, and Doctor Strange's head will make a perfect one, along with the rest of his sanctum. And with Doctor Strange now locking in, he gets ready to dispel of this threat. But just then, he then hears a voice in his head saying, "We need to work together, Steven." Surprising and distracting him, almost getting him killed again by the Enchantress, with the symbiote saying, "No, don't focus on us, focus on her." As the symbiote not only infiltrated Strange's defenses and got on his clothes, but now it bonded to him enough where it infiltrated his mind and is now speaking to him. And with the symbiote now taking partial control of Strange, dodging all around, evading Enchantress's attacks, Doctor Strange then gets fed up and has enough, saying this house party is officially over, before casting a small simple spell, capturing and keeping Doctor Strange's cloak with the symbiote in place. And now it's back to a 1v1 with Doctor Strange versus the Enchantress, with Steven even saying, "One intruder contained, now it's time to show this other one to the door." And as their new fight continues, Strange then gets distracted again talking to his cloak, or should I say the symbiote now. And the Enchantress takes this distraction, using it to teleport above him. And what does Doctor Strange do? Well, you see, as a Sorcerer Supreme and Master of the Mystic Arts, not only is he above her in magical abilities, but also he has a home field advantage of being in the Sanctum Sanctor. As she appears above him ready to attack, he simply turns around telling her to be gone, and with the hand wave forcing her to dispel and disappear once more, teleporting away. But of course, the symbiote talks once more, saying the Enchantress will never let up. Your defenses and my patience won't hold out forever either. And with Strange finally caving in and breaking down to the symbiote's advances, he says, "Fine, but if you attempt to touch the Eye of Agamotto, I will banish you to parts unknown." As he then casts another spell, freeing the symbiote cloak once more. And just as he is doing this, the Enchantress reappears behind Strange, with her Asgardian blades to his neck. And as she's ready to make the killing blow, taking Steven's head as a trophy, suddenly something really interesting happens. You see, the now symbiote cloak actually uses magic itself, opening a portal beneath Strange, getting him away from harm's danger and back into the cloak so they can reunite once more. But of course, this kind of tracks with what symbiotes can do, as they are able to copy the powers of their host. And now it seems even magical properties. But of course, the Enchantress is not out just yet, with her staring down Strange and his new friend, saying, "And here I thought your reputation preceded you. Turns out you've been getting help from your new friend," as she then talks in his mind, meaning she can even perceive and hear the symbiote's hold on Strange's mind as well. As she continues the battle, throwing a bunch of weapons at Strange, forcing him to put up some shields and defenses. Just then the symbiote decides to turn and flee, forcing Strange away. Well, not really fleeing away, but the symbiote needs more room. And for what, you might ask? Well, to stretch its legs. As we then see the symbiote start to do something really crazy, as it starts to accelerate its bonding process, fully bonding itself to Strange, much to Steven's dismay. As the symbiote then thinks to itself, "You're unlike the others, Steven. You're different. Stranger. We love it." As we then see the bonding process fully done, in which this symbiote design is actually disgustingly horrifying, but pretty unique, and dare I say even pretty cool. And even the Enchantress thinks this is disgusting, as she says she thinks she's going to be sick. As we see this new creature, who is officially dubbed SYMBIOTE SUPREME, it completes the bonding process and fully embraces its symbiotic power along with the mastery of the mystic arts. As you see it approach the Enchantress once more, fully intending to restart the battle and finish it this time for good. As we see this new SYMBIOTE SUPREME activating portals, sending its tendrils through it, telling her you're not going anywhere, fully wrapping her up and capturing her. And as she is unable to move, the symbiote then gets closer, saying, "We are hungry, and you, my dear, are a rare delicacy." And with this absolutely creeping out the Enchantress, she says, "Well, this was fun until it wasn't," as she then just decides to teleport out of there, basically fearing for her life. Just going to show you that this new Symbiote Supreme is no joke. But now with her gone, Strange starts to take control once more, questioning the symbiote, saying, "Were you actually going to eat her?" And with it agreeing, he says, "Just forget I asked." With him further going on, intriguing himself, saying how the symbiote endowed you with my abilities like muscle memory. Truly fascinating, explaining how the symbiote is able to use the magic of Doctor Strange. But of course, Venom wants more, as he says, "This is just a taste. Imagine if you gave us full access," as it lunges for the Eye of Agamotto on Strange's chest. And with him obviously not wanting this random alien to have full control and even more mastery of his powers, he stops him. And they start to get in a little dispute, saying how they had a deal that he wouldn't go for the eye. But Venom changed its mind, and now Strange decides, well, this is no longer going to work between us. He even uses a specific spell, separating him from the symbiote fully. And of course, with Venom, the symbiote now getting fed up with keep getting separated from its host, it says, "We don't need you. We will find another person in this place." But of course, Doctor Strange is not just going to sit by and allow that, as he then starts to block the symbiote's advances and moves to escape, until he finally has the symbiote cornered, with the symbiote itself stopping for a second, allowing them to talk. Strange even saying, "The way I see it, cooperation is their only option." But of course, Venom has other plans, with it saying, "Is that so? We see things differently," as it then uses its tendrils to manifest a giant claw behind Strange, scooping him up, capturing him once more. And with Strange even saying, "Well played, but again, you must cooperate if you expect me to be a hospitable host." Just showing that Strange isn't completely against the idea of bonding with the symbiote, just he needs boundaries. And with them even coming to an agreement, saying, "Return some bodily autonomy to me and you can emerge when there's an actual threat." And for now, the symbiote, now seeing no other way, it actually agrees with this, putting them in an actual symbiotic relationship. And as they finally start to calm down, suddenly another voice calls out, saying impressive, much to Doctor Strange's dismay, as his day already is pretty crazy, and now with a new stranger somehow getting past the Sanctum's defenses and getting in, he is on edge and ready to defend himself. But of course, this random person is none other than Mark Spector, one of the many personalities of Moon Knight. But Mark Spector then goes on to say he is here looking for Doctor Strange because he needs his help. Help with what, you may ask? Well, Mark Spector, or the other personalities of Moon Knight, have been going around collecting all the other people who have gotten infected with the Venom symbiote. She-Hulk, Wolverine, and even more to come. And with Doctor Strange questioning this, saying, "So you're one of the others. Where is Moon Knight's base of operations now?" Mark Spector says it's called the Midnight Mission. "I can show you where it is, but we need to hurry, Doc. I think you're the only one who can save everybody inside," hinting to an overall grander scheme of the symbiotes in it spreading to multiple heroes and where it leads to next. But of course, that is the end of this issue. So what did you guys think about this story? Now, I thought it was kind of interesting seeing how Doctor Strange dealt with a symbiote, but also as the Sorcerer Supreme, you would think he would be able to deal with just one symbiote pretty easily. But of course, this is a what if Venom story, not a what if Doctor Strange story. So he somehow needs to get bonded with a Venom symbiote for the story to continue. And as it continues, we already know the next issue features Loki getting taken over. Maybe it has something to do with Enchantress going back to Asgard, but who knows. As always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like or even subscribe, as your support really goes a long way. As always, thank you for watching.